When is the best time of the day for a Green Lantern to recite their oath?
In brightest day.
No, in the morning before they eat their oath meal. You found the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. You found Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. Welcome to today's show. I am Magic Lasso Ryan with you, and we'll start out by saying hello to one of the usual suspects that you see. It is Signature King Antonio. How are you?
Good, and it's nice to not be the last one here usually.
You're not the last one here, so way to go. Did you have a good week?
Yeah, it's a busy week this week, but next week is looking even more busy. So it's the Sunday is usually the eye of the hurricane for me.
Gotcha. Well, great to have you spending some time with us. Another regular of Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, exclusively on the Magic Lasso channel, is Comic Food 2814. And hello to you and welcome to the show. How was your week?
Good. And I wasn't late. You guys started early.
We didn't start early. We started on
That's my
time.
story. I'm sticking to it.
Yes.
That's fun.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Awesome. Well, it's great to have everyone here for the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. Did you miss the opening Green Lantern joke?
I did. I was.
Oh, it's worth a rewind when the show is over.
Okay. All right.
It was a good one, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Antonio?
It was good.
It was a good one. Okay. Of course, we couldn't do the show without you. If you're watching on the rewind, thank you for joining us. And some folks have joined us in the live chat, and we'll start acknowledging them. First with Kevin. Entropy and Comics started out our live chatters today. How are you? And hope that your weekend has been fantastic. There is John's Comics with Kids, who has joined us. He's been doing a lot of live streams recently. I just did one with him this past week. As a matter of fact, we did our Avengers versus JLA. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. This might be of particular interest to some of the panel. Hal Jordan was our MVP from this last episode.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'd be more confused if they said it was Kyle Rayner.
No.
If you want to really put this in perspective, though, Aquaman has already been an MVP before Hal Jordan.
All right.
That's okay.
Enough.
That's okay. No, that's okay, because Aquaman, he's got his own thing going on. As long as it's Hal.
It is Hal.
Or Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner.
Oh, we got years to go before those dudes are going to show up in that show.
Well, see, I'm not even worried about
it. Yeah. And then our good friend, the Sniper Who, has joined us too. Nathan, I hope that you're doing well, and great to have you stopping by. Is there a lot of DC Comics news going on this week? I don't think there really is, or have I just been living under a rock?
I didn't see any.
Wait, what did you say? Has there been any what?
DC Comics news.
I got huge news. I got big
Tell
news.
me. Go for it. But first, before you start, the show stops to say hello to I Collect a Lot.
Yes, it does.
How you doing? Okay, take it away.
DC has announced the Superman 100 project.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of it?
Is it like the Wonder Woman 100 project that they did a couple years ago?
I'm unfamiliar with the Wonder Woman 100 project.
Is that where like 100 different artists did illustrations and then they put them together for... And then I believe, if I remember correctly, they auctioned off all of the original art for a charity. But then I think it was Heroes Initiative, perhaps, that put the book together and that was a benefit for them. Is it like that?
It's exactly like that.
Awesome. Then I know what's going on.
All right. So they're doing a Superman one now. Some big names. Charlie Arnold, Alan Davis, Kevin Eastman, Dan Jurgens, Frank Miller, Frank Quietly, Brett Breeding, and they say, and more, along with Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Egg McGinnis. So that's pretty cool. If you can't afford the original art, you can pick up the hardcover, available on December 18th of this year.
Nice.
So if you're a big Superman fan, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to get some original art. I do see a big Dave Johnson Superman sketch here, so that's cool. There's only 100 of them, and once they sell and get put in the book, like that's it. They're not reprinting the hardcover anymore. Like they're done. Which is I like it when they do stuff like that. They create some hype.
Now with Wonder Woman, they had a hardcover as well, but then they had a soft cover, and I think the soft cover had a much higher print run.
Sure, possible, very possible. Like I said, I'm not sure. When did they do this? The Wonder Woman.
Oh my gosh, that has been pre-COVID. So I mean,
really? Okay.
It's been like 5-6 years or so.
Interesting. Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Other big DC Comics news: DC's compact comics, the little books.
Yep.
Are doing exceptionally well, I guess, on the market. So those are probably going to be able to stick around for a while. The Question is coming back. Renee Montoya's Question is coming back, getting her. I assume this is going to be part of the Absolute series, but she will be investigating a murder on the Watchtower. A murder on the Watchtower. So,
hey, jumping back to those compact comics for a minute,
Yep.
have either one of you actually seen any of them? Because I haven't.
I have. My
You
LCS
have.
has them. Yep.
Are they smaller than digest size?
I think they might actually be digest size.
Okay.
I don't know why they just don't come, but they're just calling them compact comics. But yeah, I think they're just digest size comics.
Okay.
Nothing extreme. They're just reprints of old stories. No real exclusive covers. Just if you had a niece or a nephew maybe that has a birthday coming up, and you just happen to be in the LCS, grab one for them. That's how they get hooked.
Yeah.
That's how they get hooked. But yeah, lots of new solicits coming in, including a #1 for a Black Lightning, Black Canary, The Question, amongst many others. So that's pretty cool. And Black Canary's her series is going to be a Black Label series. So Black Canary on the Black Labels. So
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
now, is she still a singer?
It doesn't really say. It doesn't.
Are
really
they
say.
trying to make her into the DC version of Dazzler?
Wasn't she a singer before Dazzler?
No.
Oh, I thought she was.
No.
I don't know anything about Dazzler, so that makes sense.
What?
Oh,
Huh?
This
What?
is a DC comic
It's a
show.
DC. Yeah, it's a DC.
That's not
show.
what Tom said.
Tom,
Tom's
raise
not
your
here.
hand. Where you at?
Exactly.
But yeah, lots of cool solicits coming up. I'm excited. I really want to see the Question one. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Real whodunit, so to speak. But in terms of other DC news, that was really kind of the big one. Other than the other solicit, that's kind of like an Elseworlds one, was a Santa Claus and Batman crossover again. Some of the art for that looks a little ridiculous. Oh, and Justice League Unlimited too. I forgot about that one, but we already talked about that a while ago. But yeah, that sums up all the big solicits coming down the chain.
The only thing that I really saw for news-wise was the DC Style Guide has gotten delayed.
Oh, okay.
Did they say why?
Yeah, it had something to do with the printing in Italy. They wanted to change something so it was even more authentic to the original. I think something to do with the cover, or it had something to do with that. And they stopped what they were doing to kind of fix this and make it more authentic to the original. And in doing so, because we who have pre-ordered were supposed to have it sometime in August. Now it's not going to get to the manufacturer in the States until end of September. So it will be out sometime in October. But they said it's worth it because the change was for the better. So hello to Matthew Poe. Thank you so much for your kind words. And I also want to take a moment to thank everyone that has helped me hit 800 subscribers. That happened this week, so that was pretty awesome. On my way to 14,000. But you have to hit 800 before you can hit 14,000.
You gotta hit 900, and then 1,000, and then yeah.
Yep. Sniper, who has a question for us? I'll start with my answer. Now, I haven't read the actual series, but the tie-in, the Wonder Woman tie-in issue, killed all the momentum that was going in that title for this forced tie-in, and I didn't like that. Tony, you probably would be a better person to answer that question because you're reading the main crossover, right?
Yeah, I read all the. I haven't read the Wonder Woman one, but there's a lot that's going on right now. So, pros, the art on it is exceptional. I've really enjoyed it. The story-wise, I don't want to dive into spoilers right now, but it's right on the cusp of just okay for me and good. But it's early. But we'll see once the absolute universe takes shape when Scott Snyder comes in too. But yeah, I'll show you the cool foils that come with it. I've gotten every single foil. Yeah, here's the Superman one, the Aquaman one, the Green Lantern one is cool, and the Batman one. This is part of the Task Force series, so Amanda Waller plays a huge part in it. And I've pre-ordered all the foils. But yeah, it's good. Just between good and okay. But do I recommend you just jump in if you're a brand new person to DC? Probably not. This is not a good story to jump in for the first time. I would not recommend this to new readers. But yeah, I think it's at least worth finding it digitally first if you can. It's definitely worth a read. Okay. Hopefully you can find it without handing over your credit card. But yeah, it's good.
You know what? There is more DC news that I can think of too. It was announced this week that Trinity, which is Wonder Woman's daughter, is going to get her own ongoing series. And as a matter of fact, they're going to throw it back to the Robert Kaniger days of Wonder Woman when they used to have these things called the Impossible Tales, which was Wonder Woman as a baby, Wonder Tot, Wonder Woman as a teenager, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Woman as an adult, all having adventures at the same time. And if you look at Trinity, they've established her in 3 different eras. As a young child, as a very young teenager, and then her current age at that time, which I think is like 19 or 20. And I guess that this ongoing series is going to feature all 3 of the characters interacting together in adventures. I'm not sure if the public's going to buy that or not. Tom King's going to write it. And obviously he's doing well with the main Wonder Woman title. My bigger concern in this is if Trinity's getting her own title, that means that the backup stories are going to go away in the Wonder Woman comic book. If they put, maybe they'll just decide to expand the Wonder Woman stories to full issues. But if they decide to put another backup feature in place, who's it going to be? My number one vote would be for the Wonder Girls, because we have Donna Troy, we have Cassie, and we have Yara Flor. It would be nice to have them or rotating between them, or to have Nubia as a monthly backup feature. That's what I'm actually more interested in right now than Trinity. But little news out there that that will be coming. And I guess first issue hasn't been announced for when it's coming out, but it is expected yet this year.
Very cool.
All right.
But yeah, that's all the news I got. I got nothing else. Just some solicits.
Okay. So as we segue into the retro review, Signature King picked out tonight's book. Tell us about it and what we're reading and why you chose this.
Yeah, we chose Green Lantern Oblivion, or I guess I chose Green Lantern Oblivion. One, because I don't remember if I liked this story. I'm pretty sure I did. This came out in 2016, so it's not terribly old. And it's got some of my favorite Green Lantern art on it by Ethan Van Sciver. Probably one of my favorite Green Lantern artists, period. So I think this is some of his last work with DC, or relatively close to being his last work with DC.
Yeah.
But it's a good story.
Okay. If someone, Fu, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the assist, I can get us started with issue number 1. We're just going to do the first 3 issues of this mini for tonight's retro review.
Oh, are you on issue 1?
Oh, was that you?
No.
Okay, yeah, then it's me.
Let's just checking.
Scared me for a half second.
I'm 2.
Good. Then I picked the right one to read.
There you go.
So it looks like we're going to get a story here with some of the other lanterns that don't get as much attention in the core. At least that's kind of what I've taken from at least the cover and from issue 1. So looks like our big superstars so far are going to be Guy and John Stewart. So we'll get started here. And we'll start with Mogo, the living planet. And you see it's encased with a green lantern symbol. It's trapped in the final days of the universe before ours, and it's adrift among faded stars. The galaxies have gone cold. And with Mogo in this dying universe is being protected by the Green Lantern Corps, an elite group, noble warriors, the finest beings to enter Cosmos has to offer. And as we turn the corner, we see Bigged, and he's kind of saying, "This is bleep." And
Best splash page ever, right?
Yeah. And Guy's a little entertained by that. He says, it's just hard to take a swearing squirrel seriously. Do you have any comments about that, Fu?
None whatsoever.
Okay. So we see that we got some of the Green Lantern Corps, not all of them, but a good chunk of them gathered together. And Bigged is pretty ticked off. And they're asking, if any of this stuff is translating through. And they say the universal translator is having trouble with this level of foul-mouthed squirrel profanity. So Killowog stops him for a minute and starts talking to Guy. And he's like, okay, despite the fact that he's super adorable, making his anger ridiculously ineffective, Bigged is right. This is bleep. So they've been exploring for 6 months, and they're no closer to escaping this dying universe, and they have no idea where the rest of the Corps are. So they say conceivably they're probably still lost. They're out there somewhere, they're just lost. And they say, well, finding them needs to be our priority, but the rings can't communicate this far in decaying space. If the Lost Lanterns could be working with us to find an escape if they were found. And they're like, but they're not found, this is the problem, so your plan's kind of hypothetically useless. And they say, we can't search the whole universe, we need some way to boost our rings' communication. And it's suggested that we don't need our rings. We're a universe gone dark. We just need a light. So a pretty damn big light, Guy says, to stretch across the universe. And they say, I know. And they speak to the living planet, Mogo. And Mogo says, I will shine. And Guy's like, okay. And we start to see, as we pull back from space, that it is shining. And it's creating bright light in all of this decaying death and darkness. And that light ends up getting seen. So at first, the other Green Lanterns, the ones that they were talking about that they don't know where they're at, neither side knows where the other side's at. And they're like, well, what is that? Is it a star? And they're like, no. It's the stars of this universe have all faded. It is hope in blackest night. So they start heading towards this light. Moga starts to say something's approaching. And Guy's like, hey, it's working. This is easier than I thought. And they're like, wait a minute. It's vast. It's much larger than the entire planet is. And they're like, turn the light off right now. They're like, it's too late. I can see it. And it's on a collision course. So you get an idea on this next page of the magnitude of what we're dealing with. And they realize they need a shield, and they need it immediately. So they got to protect Mogo, and they start forming a shield, and it is slowing it down a little bit since it's on this collision course. And they're like, don't drop the shield. You have to concentrate. And then it starts to crack. And they're like, hey, hold on. Then all of a sudden, this gigantic thing just busts through. And the Lanterns go into a couple pages of full-on defense mode, attacking it, whomping it with what they got. And these giant things, this giant creature, I should say, is taking down Killowog pretty easily. And Guy is kind of questioning, what the hell is this? When his hand is grabbed, or excuse me, the first who appeared, his hand is grabbed, and we find out his name is it Dimsis. And Dimsis is told to stop. And she says, you have to calm yourself. You have to feel. These people are not our enemies. And then she apologizes for the hostility. She talks about this planet as home to the last great city. Within this city dwell the last survivors of 1,000 dead worlds. So she's talking about that planet that was coming near the Green Lanterns and how they are the guardians of that last great city on that planet. But she senses that the Green Lantern Corps that they've encountered are no threat. They are good creatures. And then one of the Lanterns comments, she's the most beautiful 30-foot tall anything I've ever seen. And they say, we were once champions of another world. The curse of our powers and our longevity meant that we saw everything we loved and protected wither and die, but we're now dedicated to defending the last city. We all have to escape before this universe collapses. Our goals seem intertwined, so we should probably help each other. And then they say, the Green Lantern Corps says, well, just excuse us for a minute. We kind of have to talk about this. And one of us says, what do we really have to discuss here? And he's like, we need to talk about this. So they meet. And they say, well, we can't stand by and condemn a world to death. And then they say, well, our priority has to be escape. This world is already dead. This entire universe has gone and collapsed. Every being on that planet died with it. And then they talk about the responsibilities that they have. And, Guy says, hey, anyone who can survive the end of the universe might not be the good guys. Trust me, I've been around to the end of some bar fights. So I know sometimes the ones left standing aren't necessarily the good guys. And they kind of say, well, you have a point on that as well. Killowog talks about how he outlived his people and he knows what that feels like to be last. And he says, if I find an escape, these people come with me. And if I hear one more logical argument from you, I'll reach in and tear the logic right out of your giant, unfeeling head. So he's kind of told the Lanterns to stow it, essentially. So now at the last city, this gleaming utopia, their warriors, their defenders, are introducing them to the Green Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps that they just met. And they talk about how, the world is gone, the universe decays and grows more unstable around you. But today we can tell you that there is hope. These are great and powerful warriors that are great to help us find and escape before the end comes. And they present their new champions, the Green Lantern Corps. In the midst of all of this in the shadows, and we don't know, at least in this issue, who these people are. There's some people that are like, So as the Green Lanterns are introducing themselves, we're protectors from another time and a new universe. From the universe that comes into being after this one. We intend to take you with us. And these people in the shadows realize that they are a problem that they had not anticipated. And but they think that they can take them. And but there is some caution if they can. And that cliffhanger is kind of left dangling for now. So the Green Lantern has assured that they are there for their protection. We got one of the Lanterns there. Do you know who this guy is? Any of you guys? I don't either. But
the fish guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Well, he's just kind of checking out the scene to see what happens when, he kind of starts to get choked. This line reaches out and grabs him around the throat and starts to choke him. And as a matter of fact, it gets... Muck. Okay, so Muck, it gets so bad that it's deadly. And it kills him. And, the ring starts looking for, because now that he's passed away, the ring is scanning, trying to find a new host. And we see Muck disappeared, and what had been strangling him leaves him, and our issue ends.
All right.
As we get ready to go on to issue 2, we'll say hello to our friend James, Warlord, who's joined us.
Hey,
Hi.
Warlord.
Take it away, Comic Food 2814 with issue 2.
All right, so issue 2 of Green Lantern Corps: Edge of Oblivion. All right, so we've got Mogo here with this last city now. Mogo again was this beacon of light. We've got the Lost Lanterns have returned after seeing the light. But the Green Lantern Corps discovers Muck's body. And right away, Guy Gardner blames Killowog, saying that you said we'd protect this world without knowing whether these people deserve our protection. You said we'd help them to escape with us. Now look what they've done. Excuse me. So Simon Baz says, you can't blame everyone in the city for this. We need to like see what's going on. So Killowog flies off, says, "Shut up, guy. This isn't helping." Killowog flies up to these two protectors, these guardians of this last city, to see if they know anything about it. And they're like, "I'm sorry, I truly thought you'd be able to help and that you'd be strong enough to resist." And the Green Lanterns are like, "Resist what?" And they're like, "Asterisk, don't." The guy's like, "Asterisk, don't." And she says, "No, they've agreed to help us, Dismas. They deserve to know everything they face." And so she goes on to tell them that there is this woman that lives under the city named Marnielle. And she's very old and she's got followers that live in the city. And she is basically trying to undermine these guardians here. And she would destroy everything if she had it her way. So just then this kind of like earthquake kind of happens. It goes room through the thing. And they're like, "It's not an earthquake, it's Marielle, and she's angry and she's done something." And that's when they realize that the engines have turned on. The planet is fleeing. So they fly over to see what's happening, and there's this rift in space as we see here. And the planet is trying to escape from it. At the same time, here we've got Marielle, our Marnielle. It's kind of like this skeleton creature. And she's basically telling her followers, like, "Hey, while the Green Lanterns and the Guardians try to protect them from this space rift, that's when we'll launch our attack. So have your believers in place and make sure they've said their goodbyes." Many worlds, one fight. So again, these are the last survivors of many worlds. So many worlds, one fight. Meanwhile, and then they send their people off to attack the engines. So now the engines are offline at the moment when they need them most because the planet is moving into this rift. The Guardians realize this and they're like, "She's destroyed the engines." And the Green Lanterns very quickly try to assemble a plan. John Stewart, being the engineer, he's like, "Look, I'm the engineer. I'll go fix the engines. I need builders to come with me." And so Stell's the first one to volunteer. He's like, "How about a machine, who can build other machines?" And John Stewart's like, "Yes, I'll need you to lead us when we're in there." So they go rushing off to try to fix the engine, while the rest of the Corps, led by Killowog, try to stop the rift and hold them off. And as you can see, all the engineers and the builders left because they're putting together this makeshift kind of barrier to prevent the rift. But yeah, it kind of looks like it's slapped together here. All right, so back at the engines, they come down and to try to fix it. They attack these guys that were attacking the engine. They get them out of there, and John Stewart comes up and he's like, "We need to get these engines working." So he goes in and he's like, "Look, I can figure out, like, I'm smart enough to figure out how this thing should have worked. I just need Stell to tell us how to actually make it move." And so what he does is he projects with his ring all the different gears and stuff, and everybody's like, "This is incredible." And he's like, "This is what we need to build, but I need everybody to work with me to help build the engine parts, and Stell will tell us how to actually make it move." All right, back to Marnielle. She is saying goodbye to one of her followers. He's basically saying, "Look, I know you." She's like, "I would do this myself, but," and he's like, "I know." He's like, "Nothing can happen to you. We need you to carry on. Many worlds, one fight." So he flies off on some kind of apparent suicide mission, I guess, and he launches these missiles at the Green Lanterns that are building this barrier, and it blows up the barrier, allowing Arissa and Bedig and Guy Gardner go flying into the rift. One of the Guardians catches Guy Gardner in his right hand, and he catches Arissa and Bedig in his left hand. And he's like, "Don't worry, I got you." And this, but again, this follower of Marniel's, he's like many worlds, one fight, and he flies in. He shoots the Guardian, causing the Guardian to let go of Arissa and Bedig, and they fly into the rift. And if you know anything, I believe Arisia and Guy Gardner aren't they a couple during this period? Do I have that wrong?
Spaghetti sauce stirring.
Yeah, I thought so. But again, they get the engines working again. And you can see here Guy Gardner's face as he watches Arissa fly off. Killowog comes up from behind. He's like, "There's nothing you can do for them. They're gone." Wrong thing. Guy Gardner turns around and socks him.
Now that's a great splash.
Yes, it is. And oh yeah, that's the end of the issue. So that's where we leave off.
Okie dokie.
All right, on to you, Tony.
Tony, your mic is muted.
You're muted.
Yep, sorry. We start off here with Alande. I think that's how you say her name. There's a quick origin of hers. I'm not going to skip it, or I am going to skip it. Doesn't really apply much here. But yeah, her and the other Lanterns are traveling through space. And she's just like pedal to the metal. She ain't stopping. But the other Lanterns tell her, like, listen, we need to rest. We need to recharge our batteries. Like, we can't go much further and be expected to continue the mission. So she's like, fine, go ahead and rest. She'll carry them. And that's exactly what she does. She puts them in a big ball and takes them down. But anyway, so we cut back to where you were, where that Guardian got hit. He's caught by Guy and kind of brought down to the Earth, I should say. And as soon as Guy Gardner kind of goes over there to see if he can render aid. Oh, and by the way, this is totally ET right here. Looks just like him. I wanted to point that out. That is definitely ET. But yeah, as soon as he gets over there, Killowog socks him back and says, "Hey, you didn't get away with striking a commanding officer." And he's like, "Hey, I think my friends just, got sucked in a wormhole. I'll probably never see them again. So yeah, I really don't care." And he has a great line here. He's like, "I think that entitles me to grab whatever part of your pink body that is most sensitive and squeeze until something pops." Whoops. And yeah, Lanterns or Killowog is like, "Try it." John Stewart finally chimes in and says, "Hey, listen, knock it off, you dingbats. Like, everyone can see us. Like, they need our help, and here we are fighting each other." And another Lantern, not sure what her name is. Maybe we talked about it in the other issue, but she says, "Hey, the death of your two friends." So, yeah, she's like, "Who are they?" She's trying to talk to him about it. And Guy Gardner, classic line, "Hey, why don't you talk to my commanding officer? Talk to him about it." But yeah, we're over the last city, and Dimas, is that how we're saying it? Dimas. Anyway, yeah. So she knows that she allegedly knows that those two are like, listen, they're gone. They're gonna get sucked in. There's really nothing you can do. And finally, we cut to Mogo, and we're having a bit of a flashback here. Mogo's he's coming on board, and Mogo and Perduran, another sentient planet. So anyway, John Stewart, is like, "Hey, it's nice that not John Stewart. Guy Gardner says, 'Hey, look, Mogo found a friend. It's just a shame that he's a jerk. I guess the other living planet is a jerk.' So, so the other Lanterns are on the way to help the Moss, and they're talking about like, hey, listen, if we're gonna do this thing, we gotta go completely underground. We gotta go to the Lost City. We gotta end this thing for once and for all. We gotta confront, those that cult that lives down there and take care of them. So that's exactly what they do. They get their big drill bit here. They drill all the way down. And Guy Gardner and the Killowog are bickering the whole way down. And they finally get there, and it turns out they're waiting for them. They got all these guns pointed at the door. They knew they were coming. But Green Lantern shields are up. They're doing great, holding them back. Guy Gardner's putting them in little green balls. And then they met. I already forgot the name of this person. The person that lives down there, the leader of them all. Anyway,
Marnielle, I think.
Marnielle. So she actually gets a hold of Guy Gardner. She's where's that panel at? I must have missed it. No, anyway, so they get a hold of Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is he's disabled, and Monel takes the lantern ring. And if you can see here, see if I can zoom in on this. Guy Gardner is totally wearing whitey tighties in this panel right here. So he's completely vulnerable on this planet. But Guy Gardner says, "Hey, listen, good luck putting that ring on, lady. Like, you're not worthy of anything. You can't just put a Green Lantern ring on." Well, that's exactly how it happens. Monel of error. You are capable of error. Reprogramming. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps. Oops. So Guy Gardner spoke too soon. And there he is, looking a little bit shoveled. Maybe slightly out of proportion in the background, but that is going to wrap up this issue here.
Yep.
So, kind of what goes on with the rest of the story? Do either one of you remember? Or
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
No, this was the period of, I think this came out during New 52, right? Like towards the end of it.
Yeah, the end of New 52. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had stopped reading New 52 at that point.
Okay. So your thoughts on these first 3 issues, or the series, and if you want to score it out of 10, that would be great too.
I want to hear Fu's opinion, because he's the big Green Lantern connoisseur here.
He's the big ring? Is that what you're saying?
He's the big green ring.
So if I compare it against other Green Lanterns, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was pretty standard Green Lantern. The whole Corps was there. They were fighting some kind of space menace and some kind of mystery. And so, I enjoyed it. It was good.
I will go 6 out of 10 just because I didn't know most of the lanterns that were in the story.
Yeah, you always have such a trouble with all the different characters.
I do. I recognize the squirrel one, but I don't know his name.
Yeah.
And there's the one that is like pinkish magenta color. I don't know if she's still there, but she was in the Bronze Age. Like, I recognize her, but I don't know her name. And I don't even know Boz's name, but I recognize him. I never can remember. But when you say it, I'm like, oh, yeah. I know who that is now. Yeah. So I didn't know a lot of the characters' name. I kind of do think it's nice that some of them got some attention, because a lot of them don't get attention out of the main ones. It was all right for me. It wasn't horrible. Oh, but Killowog didn't say Poozer enough for me, at least in the issues that we read. So
that makes sense.
There you go.
So those are my thoughts on that.
Very cool. Very nice.
All right.
I like Green Lantern stories where they get a ton of lanterns involved. I think it's pretty cool to see how super diverse they are. Yeah.
Yeah, to truly appreciate them, Lasso, I think you have to go back to the beginning of the Jeff Johns run, and the way they get introduced over time, and you realize you don't even have to remember many of their names, but you'll recognize them enough, and it's a fun group.
Okay, cool. So Tony, what did you say your score was out of 10?
Oh, I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10, because I like I like to see all the lanterns, and Ethan Van Sciver is terrific on the art as always. So easy. Yeah, the art was 7.5. Yeah, for me.
Yeah, those Guardians were crazy looking.
Yeah, they are. When I first read it back in 2016, I looked at the panel, and for some reason I thought it was Cyborg Superman.
Yeah, it kind of looks like yeah.
I was like, what is he doing in here?
Looks like a yellow lantern almost.
Yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're getting ready
All right.
to proceed to our book show portion. And why don't we let Comic Food 2814 go first? Take it away.
All right. Well, perfect for Green Lantern night. Guess what I got in?
The Green Lantern book.
Your
Showcase
foil.
22
Yeah, that was
foil.
the SDCC exclusive, right?
Yes. And I actually got 21
Ooh.
out of 300.
Wow. I didn't know they were numbered or limited. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you know what? Considering you got 21 and you didn't buy it until the convention was over, that sounds like that was not a hot seller.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right. Oh. And
You got something else?
well.
Oh, and
do you
hello to
have this
Bobby who
lasso?
checked in. Do I have that?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Did you get a freebie?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
That's cool. They just
So.
threw you a bonus book?
Yeah. So I was wondering if you had that. But
I do have that one, but thank you.
all right.
And Kenneth Bird has joined us as well. Our bird watcher.
How's it going?
Well, it looks like Tony's working on his, so I'll talk about my channel and do my book show first.
Okay.
So what's going on with my channel? Let's start with what is already on the channel. My comic book editions video that's up, volume 205, the most unusual one yet. Oh my gosh, when you have a thumbnail of Faye Dunaway as Joan Crawford from Mommy Dearest, you know that video is going to be something. And that video quite was something. So that is up on my channel already. There is my back issue of the week YouTube short that came out this past week. And it was Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. And that did over 500 views for me. So I was really happy with how that turned out. So that's what's on my channel already. What's coming up? Oh, I should also mention too, I was on John's Comics with Kids channel for Avengers vs. JLA this past Wednesday. You can find that on the playlist archive on my channel in the playlist folder. So what's coming up on my channel tomorrow? There's a back issue of the week YouTube short that ties in with a big theatrical movie that just opened a couple days ago. And then my comic book editions video that will be dropping has, I think, all DC in it. So a lot of Bronze Age DC. So look for that. It's a $20 budget on a sale that Nucadia had last month to tie into their Prime days. When Amazon Prime was doing Prime sales, they were having their Prime days as well. Hello to Super Russ 9000. Thank you so much for joining us. And for a book show, there's two things I want to show. Because you gotta, it's not too often that I think I can one-up the 2814. But this is one that I can't one-up the 2814. I'm keeping this up here so we can get his reaction first before I go full screen.
Oh, the Brazilian one, isn't it?
Yeah. So that is the exclusive from several years back from their big Comic-Con. I think it was 2016, perhaps 14 or 16, nice. I think. And it's more that Garcia Lopez style guy goodness art. And I have the full run of the books that they did as exclusives over there. And
when
my
are
friend,
you sending that?
As soon as the check arrives.
I'll trade you for an All-Star Comics number.
We'll trade.
Not
all
for
right?
that.
We'll
I
trade.
already have that. K-Pop Junkie popped in. So how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your support. And thank you, Super Russ, as well. And then one other thing I wanted to show, because I've been talking about this a few weeks ago. It's my little Jon Stewart there.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
From Burger King.
Very nice.
So that would be good for the book show portion tonight as well.
Awesome.
What's going on with your channel and what book show? I know that you were live earlier today, Signature King.
Yeah, on a rare occasion I was live. I know that YouTube Shorts, you can now go live through YouTube Shorts, so I'm just kind of experimenting just to see what I can get out of it. And
that was a long short.
That was a long short. Was it in the correct format though? Like, because I know you were in it. Did it look?
It looked. It looked not the
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
He was
perfect.
that.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Awesome. But yeah, you can now go live on YouTube.
Oh,
Shorts.
Bobby got the good ones from Burger King.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Be jealous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with it, just experimenting, see what I can get out of it. Because I think my channel's in the doghouse again.
Uh-oh.
I had another video take off a little short take off. Boom, right down to now. My views don't get more than 5. My shorts don't get more than 5 views. So
5? Just like 5?
5. It goes from like
gosh.
1,500, and the next day I'll get 5, and I don't change anything. Everything stays the same, bro. Whatever. You don't want to hear me complain.
Howdy, Gore.
I can get pretty long-winded. But on the channel coming up, I'm going to be on a lot of channels, especially the month of September. Myself and Southern Comic Book King working on 2 videos because we're both going to be attending Baltimore Comic-Con. Signature or Sig Slayers and me are doing a couple of collabs. Me and Anoronic Comics are doing something fun. So Comic Book College. Who would have thought college and me in the same sentence, right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming my way. So stay tuned for that. So for book shows, I didn't know I have so much signed Green Lantern. I honestly didn't know what to grab. So I just grabbed these first ones here. We have the the BTC collectible Green Lantern logo foil, which was super awesome.
Are those still available?
I haven't probably. I think they are.
Oh, okay.
Last I checked that they were.
Just checking.
Huh.
Yeah, sure you were. He was just checking. And I also got the where I forget where this one came from.
I thought you got it from a creator.
I did get it from a creator, but at the time,
because you got it before it was like on sale.
Yeah, I got it before it was on sale, and I thought it was just another variant of this one. You know what I mean? But because Philip Kennedy Johnson at his booth only had this one. He didn't have nothing else. But it was part of a set that you could get from like Comic Mint or something. But yeah, I got it like a month early or something because I didn't know what it was, and CLZ couldn't recognize it, so I was very confused. But now that I know, that's pretty cool. And also here we got some classic Green Lantern here. I think this is the first appearance of Sodom Yat, if I remember correctly.
That's a great cover.
Yes, and the 150th anniversary issue, also signed by Joe Stanton. Both of these by Joe Stanton. These 2 by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And this is Hal Jordan and the Anti-Green Lantern Corps. The Anti-Green Lantern Corps. To destroy, destroy, destroy.
Nice.
Very cool.
And by the way, there are links in the description to this video. Please sub everybody up. Certainly is appreciated. Sub everyone up that's in the chat as well to help continue this group. And what Green Lantern do you have in your collection? Share a cover with us on Instagram. Use the hashtag Fanboys Live the Retro Review so we can see it. Always love looking at those. Oh,
Very cool.
We got a Joe fan too. I'm a Joe fan as well.
Joe Stanton is probably like the most, and I say this in the most awesome, I mean it in the best possible way, nauseatingly friendly person at any
really
comic
friendly.
book convention. He is a talker. He'll talk your ear off in a good way about Green Lantern. So when I was getting him to sign like issues like this or whatever, like not only is he signing it for me, he's talking about like the art, his experience on it, like stuff that didn't make it into the book. He's, panels that like, oh yeah, between here and here, we wanted this to happen. And he provides so much insight that none of the creators do that I've been a part of. So he's a real treat. He's getting up there in age, but he's still doing the convention circuit. So I'm super glad that I got him to sign a bunch of stuff while he was around.
When I met him, I said, I have something with me that you haven't seen in quite a long time. And he says, what's that? And I pulled out my 3 pages of original art from a DC Comics Presents #9, Superman and Wonder Woman, that he did in 78 maybe or 79. And he's like, oh my gosh. And the one page that I have it's towards the end, and it shows, I mean, it's got a whole bunch of Superman and Wonder Woman drawn on that page because they're circling this ice monster. They're running around him. So there's like 20 images of the two of them on that one page alone. And he really, which was always a favorite page of mine, he really liked looking at that page again. And
Wow.
I had the original art, but it wasn't signed by him. So I got him to sign the original art. And also at the end, before we left, he's like, I want a picture of you and me together on my phone too. And I'm like,
wow.
oh, that's pretty cool. Not too many times does that happen. Marie Osmond did that with me. I know that's not comic book, but one time that I met Marie Osmond, she's like, I want a picture of us together on my phone too. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So, yeah, that was a good fun memory there. Yeah, he's still out doing shows, so go stop by and appreciate what he's contributed to the world of comic books.
Tons of Green Lantern stuff. Tons.
Oh, he's worked on a lot of characters, a lot of Huntress. He's co-creator of Huntress. So lots of characters though. So
yeah.
Oh, someone else remembers Marie Osmond. Yeah, Paper Roses.
Funny story about Marie Osmond. When I first moved to Pennsylvania, I was driving by a gas station. I had this gigantic RV/bus for sale. And one day I was filling up gas. I walked over just to see because it was immaculate. I'd never seen anything that big or fancy looking my whole life. And on the door, it said that this was Marie Osmond's tour bus. And it gave the dates or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, how did that end up here of all places at this little gas station? I mean, literally in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Wow. Marie Osmond's tour bus.
Huh. I have another follow-up question for you, Tony.
Yep.
When you were at that gas station, did you get nachos?
No, because the Casey's Empire stops at around mid-Ohio. Okay. So I don't bother. If it's not Casey's, it's not good. Remember that for everybody. Sheets, Wawa, who cares? It's all about Casey's.
Don't listen to him. Anybody that thinks that Casey's has anything remotely resembling pizza, don't listen to them. It's terrible. Terrible. It's amazing. I know. Pizza. I just angered the entire Midwest, but it's awful. Awful.
Well, what does the missus say? She's a fellow Midwesterner.
Yeah.
Did she like Casey's? No, see, say no more.
But she knows when we go there, don't even approach me with it. It makes me sick. It's so bad. Oh, and the breakfast pizza. Oh, it's
even better. Oh,
they put eggs, scrambled eggs on pizza.
It's breakfast pizza. It's breakfast. There's
with
bacon
fatty
on
bacon and
it's sausage.
And so bad.
What about oatmeal?
Cheese? No oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
No oatmeal.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's bad. Real bad.
Now you're gonna say you don't like Pizza Ranch.
Oh, I don't like Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch is okay.
Pizza Ranch, they have 50 different varieties of pizza, and every pizza tastes the same.
Oh yeah.
It don't matter. Like you could eat something completely different topping, and it tastes the same.
Yeah.
I might not be back next week. Listen, these two guys don't know pizza. Apparently, I've had pizza.
Okay. When why does the Midwest fight over their pizza? Be like, it is what
Chicago
it is.
Pizza.
Okay, but it's
Chicago.
Not
what about them?
It's amazing.
It's okay.
It's
nothing
amazing.
to write home. I had pizza in Rome, Italy. As Italian as it gets. Not as good as the pizza I get from my gas station in Iowa.
Oh gosh.
Pizza Ranch has some amazing chicken. I don't know what it is. They must lace
Tastes
that
like
with
the pizza.
Some kind of. You don't like their chicken? Come on, man.
Everything tastes the same there.
What about their dessert pizza?
Well, all the dessert pizza tastes like their dessert pizza. Like it don't matter if it's blueberry, if it's cherry, if it's raspberry, if it's peach, if it's apple, if it's banana. It all tastes the same.
You're gonna get more comments on this video than any other one, Lasso.
There goes my 800 subscribers.
Yeah.
Anyone that like Pizza Ranch, unsubscribe.
Yep. Rats on the sink.
Hey, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Where's that unsub button?
Don't worry, YouTube will take care of it for you.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure they always do. As soon as you upload a video, like there goes 5 subs right off the.
Well, I
right
tell
off the
you,
back.
today I got notification this morning that I got a brand new subscriber. And I'm like, awesome. So I go over to look to see my number. Number never changed. Still hasn't changed all day today. Number's the same as it was yesterday.
Sometimes when they subscribe, you don't get the notification for like the next day for whatever reason.
You mean the count number? Because I got the notification like so and so subscribed 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
but the number didn't change.
Don't know. YouTube sucks. What can you do? But you know what doesn't suck? Pizza Ranch and Casey's.
I'll give you Casey's.
No, don't do that.
Don't give them Casey's.
See, Bobby
Whoa,
knows
Pizza
I'm
But
Ranch
talking.
Casey's
better
has
than
good
Casey's.
cookies. Casey's has really good cookies.
Casey has great cookies. Bobby knows I'm talking about. Bobby says Pizza Ranch got some good chicken.
I
It
like the
does.
Scotcheroos at Casey's. Those are good.
Oh, see, now he gives you a little bit. Now he likes just this one thing.
Yeah, just a little
That
bit.
one.
Just this one thing.
Yeah. And if they're out that day, he burns the place down.
So you don't like
Yeah.
any other pizza? You don't like any other pizza? At
Well, I like
Casey's.
pizza.
But I'm just talking about Casey's pizza. You don't like none other pizza.
Oh no, it's awful. It's
Not even
just
their
awful.
taco pizza.
Oh,
It's like one
okay.
of my favorites.
No.
Okay,
None.
Fu, here are your choices. You have to eat either Casey's pizza or Pizza Ranch pizza. Which one are you eating?
Oh, Pizza Ranch every day.
Really? I won.
Yeah.
I won.
Oh yeah.
You know why I don't eat Pizza Ranch pizza? Because they don't have Casey's. Sniper, who knows? Yeah, I like pizza.
We have Sniper, who lives in the same town that I do. We have Pizza Ranch here. I've never been yet. I mean, been to Pizza Ranch at other locations,
Sure.
but not the one here in town. I've been too busy going to Burger King. I'm going to have a heart attack with all this fried food I've been consuming. Get these toys.
Now, did
Yeah.
you get the Wonder Woman and Supergirl?
He's got so many, he didn't even know. He's got to dig
Supergirl?
through his...
All right. So do you have them all now?
Yeah, I'm going to show them in a future video.
Okay.
So
Probably not this upcoming week, but maybe the week after.
Was it last week or the previous week? I took the family out to Cuyahoga National Park, way out in Ohio, and we stopped at a rest stop along the turnpike somewhere to get out and use the restaurant. They had a Burger King, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the superhero toys." Like, yeah, let me get 2 kids meals, see what they get, so I can have it.
So I can have it.
My youngest daughter pulls out a Supergirl. My oldest daughter pulls out like a Joker or something. Like, she don't care about Joker. Dude, like, this Supergirl toy caused a huge fight almost the whole way home. They had
That is
this
pretty
shit-
awesome.
They would just hold the Supergirl toy just like this, and listen to their little shows or whatever. Just like that. And then every couple miles, they had to give it to the next one, and she had to hold it. So I had to keep reminding them, okay, it's been X number of miles. Give it to her. Give it to her. Give it to her. Give it to her.
You would have been better off just stopping at another Burger King and getting another Supergirl.
I seriously considered it. Like, here's $10. Give me a Supergirl toy for the love of God.
And then in the meantime, there's Tony in the front seat.
No. That has never happened. Never happened. I didn't even know.
What do you
there
think,
was a
Fu?
front
Was he like this?
Oh yeah, he would like that.
Yeah, he was like that.
Yeah.
seat.
That's the real story. They got a Harley, and it was Tony fighting with his girls because
Mhm.
he
Give me
wanted to
that
hold the Harley.
And hold the
Mhm.
Harley the whole way here. And then I see the sunroof is open, and I just let it fly.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go.
Be free, Harley.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Well, it looks like we made it to the end of another greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. There is a rumor going around that it's my pick for the Retro Review next week.
I heard you were picking Green Lantern again.
I
Way to
think you
go.
heard wrong.
Word on the street.
Well, the street has gotten it wrong.
Danny the
So-
Street is never wrong.
Right.
I like Danny the Street. Danny the Street's pretty cool. All right, I hope that you had a great time. Thank you to everyone who joined us in the live chat. Thank you if you watched in the rewind for making it all the way to the end. We certainly do appreciate that. We hope you have a good week as well, Sniper Who, and everyone else that joined us, and we'll catch you next week. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.